Hello, Eurovision fans. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, Eurovision Histories. Yesterday, the mother, or maybe the father of all pre-parties, happened in Amsterdam, Eurovision in concert. We got 28 great new performances, a lot of them very, very good. I want to talk about all 28 performances. There were actually 4 or 5 where I thought if you told me today that this is our Eurovision winner, I wouldn't be surprised. Major winner vibes, but not only for one, but for several of these songs, which just shows you what a great year this is. And I'm so excited for Eurovision to come along. So we're going to talk about whether Joost Klein met expectations. I'm going to talk about Baby Lasagna, also his TV appearance on Dutch TV, which was great, and also whether Slimane sang that last part of his song in Dutch, like he did in London in English and in Barcelona in Spanish. So let's get right to it. The first performance I wanted to talk about for a reason is Sylvester Belt with Look Talk. I completely forgot to talk about him when I did my London pre-party review. Very sorry about that. The graphic didn't download and then I just forgot. But I can really say that he has been incredibly consistent throughout all of the pre-parties. And again, last night, the performance is basically the same, always very good, always on point. The vocals are very good. I love the shoulderography. I love everything he does as a choreography because it fits the song, it elevates the song. He had the same outfit on basically throughout all of the pre-parties. There was a bit more freestyling with the choreography, which I liked, and the graphics are really helping the song as well, quite impactful. So very well done, and this will do really well. I think this walks over some of the other pop songs we have this year. So well done, Sylvester Belt. Then Celia Capsis, this was her first pre-party performance of Liar. I don't know what it is, but everything about it just reminds me of Britney Spears in the early 2000s every single time. She had a crop top on that added to that impression. The choreography is also a bit Britney in the early 2000s, I guess. But I have to say, Celia really exceeded my expectations, and I think a lot of people's expectations, because the vocals were on point, very, very good. The choreography was very slick. You really noticed that they rehearsed it quite a bit. And so I'm quite surprised, positively surprised. I think this might do well. I think this is now more of a safe qualifier than I actually thought initially. I still don't love the song, but well done, Celia, for the performance last night. Then, and I kind of grouped together these girl pop performances in the beginning just to compare them a little bit. You have Aiko with Pedestal, again, quite solid, much better than in the national final. She wore a half skirt, I guess I would call it. You could see one of her legs and this silver top, which works quite well. She's moving way less, but again, every time she moves, you notice that the vocals get a bit shaky. I like the dancers in the background that are reenacting the fight, especially during that part where you hear the fight during the song. But when you really compare it, not to the national final performance, yes, there's a lot of improvement, but to the other girl pop songs and their vocal performances, you really notice that it is better, but it is not the best. And so, and people watching Eurovision will see this for the first time and will compare it to other performances. And then I'm not sure whether we just have the psychological effect that we saw the national final performance and now it's better and now we think it's going to qualify. I still think that this will struggle, unfortunately. But the long note was actually quite okay. She was a bit off in some parts, got breathy in others, even though she didn't move that much. So this is in trouble, I do think, still. Do subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Lots of things coming up during Eurovision week, and also before that, I have lots of ideas for song battles. We have the Eurovision Knockout, which you can vote in for the quarterfinals at the moment. So please subscribe, only a third of you are, and you won't miss any fun videos. Then another girl pop song, we have Sara Bonici with Loop. Very good performance. She did the whole choreography. She had 2 dances with her, topless dancers. So she knows her audience, I guess. She did the turnaround thing, which isn't easy to do. And every time I see it, I get a bit scared for her. So well done for that. The dance break is okay. We have way too many dance breaks this year. And that will mean that the songs that have a dance break won't stand out as much, I do think. And it is a bit of a song that is structured around the dance breaks. It's more a dance break with a bit of song next to it. And I don't really like that as much. The vocals were good, especially for all the movement that she does. A bit off in some places, but nothing really major. And she just comes across as very likable. And I do like her a lot. And it is her dream to go to Eurovision. And I'm glad that she gets to live it. Then we have Luxembourg with Tali. She was wearing a skin-tight silver dress, which was great. She let the audience sing part of the song. I said last time for her last pre-party performance that this is a very hard song to sing. You have these very fast parts in French, and then you have to switch to the pop parts, and it's actually a really hard song to sing. So having the audience sing a part of it and concentrating on what comes next is maybe a smart move. But for Eurovision, obviously, you need to be able to do that by yourself. There was a lot of backing track, I think, as well. But the performance was better than the last pre-party performance. So there is an improvement. There is a trend towards a better performance. And so I think for Eurovision, she might be on time to really deliver the best performance she could for this song. But I'm not 100% convinced yet, and maybe this will struggle actually in the end. And when we look at all the ones that I just talked about, and then you see Nutza Buzaladze do her performance of Firefighter, she just walks over everyone and completely destroys the competition. The vocals are amazing, incredible, on point, 100%. The outfit is very classy with a silver fringes thingy skirt on, and she just has an incredible stage presence as well. She owns that stage. She sets it on fire. No, I don't know what other metaphors I could think of, but really good performance, and this will put in trouble all of the others. If there is a girl bob that will go into the top 10 this year, I think it's this one. And I was kind of thinking that this might not qualify. I'm quite sure now that this will qualify. She is incredibly charismatic and a great performer, so well done for that. Then another very charismatic performer, we have Slimane in Mon Amour. There isn't much that I haven't said about him yet. Amazing vocal performance once again. In The Voice Belgium, which was actually on TV and a very high quality video, you did hear a few parts, especially in the beginning where he was a bit off, but I didn't hear any of that here. Very emotional again. Every single time he brings all of the emotion. He was on his knees to sing that last part of the song. He didn't go away from the microphone this time, but was on his knees and the microphone was a bit further away from him. He didn't sing in Dutch, unfortunately. He sang in Spanish in Barcelona and in English in London, but he didn't sing Dutch in Amsterdam. Very unfortunately, I would have loved to hear Iko Vanyo in that part of the song, but anyway, he was on his knees, as I said. A lot of them were on their knees. I don't know why. They wanted to show that they lived their songs, I guess. But very, very good performance. A white outfit, which I think is the right way to go. Well done, Slimane. Dons and Hollow, not a lot new to say about this. Amazing vocal performance. People were talking in the beginning again. That is a bit disrespectful, but he still manages to deliver the perfect vocal performance every single time. He wore his sleeveless blue outfit again. Well done. I hope Latvia somehow manages to qualify, but I am a bit doubtful, unfortunately. Teodora was wearing a very classy black dress, which was really elegant, a gown actually, I would say, which is great for this song, I think, much better than the outfit she had on in the national final, and I would stick with the gown thing. There was again talking at the beginning of this as well, but she was on her knees, showing all the energy and all the emotion that she feels with the song, that she lives the song. I think the graphics in the background for the climax are actually very, very effective. There were lightning strikes and things happening, which really elevates that part of the song. Very well done. And at the end, of course, you have the purple lighting, not lightning, to tell the story of the Lila Ramonda that is reviving. So very good vocal performance as well. She has this very distinct vocal tone, which you could really hear in this performance as well. Well done. I'm kind of repeating myself, but there isn't that much to say, to criticize, actually. Musti had a bit of a bad-ish performance in London, vocal performance. There were a few moments here where it sounded a bit off, a bit nasal, a bit screechy even, especially in the beginning. But then once the song built toward the end, he really found his voice, and it was actually much, much better than in the London performance. Again, just a few moments where it was off. The rest was really impactful and emotional as well. He wore a cape. He takes it off to underline how the song develops and becomes more and more intense. And then he had a fringy top on, the leather belt again, and it did look great. I think this was the best outfit we have seen him in during the pre-parties. And he did a lot less of the air punching at the beginning of the song and then did it at the end of the song. I think that is the right way to go as well, to just accentuate what the song, the structure of the song is. So kind of well done. He was also on his knees showing us how much he feels his song. Then we have Gorte and Ylveham. I mean, what can I say? Amazing vocals once again. I was looking for the right word, and then she did an interaction with the audience and said, please do your best primal scream, and then held the microphone to the audience, and they screamed. So primal is really the right word to describe her vocals as well. So thank you, Gunhild, for making me realize that. Amazing outfit as well, glittery pants, a leather top, and then she had this cape, flowy gown thing that looks very much like a lady in medieval times. And so the outfit kind of accentuates what the song also is, modern parts, medieval parts, telling this 1,000-year-old story. So I think this would be a great outfit actually for Eurovision. She did the band bag. Everything was really on point again. But in this performance, I also noticed the people playing the instruments behind her, the other band members, are really into it, are really going for it. And one of them threw the guitar up in the air again and caught it. And there is a great photo from one of the Spanish pre-parties, I think the Barcelona party, where you see the cameraman go like, which is understandable because but that is a moment that will also make people remember the song. I think if they will do that in Eurovision, I'm quite sure. Also the turning the guitar around his neck. So yeah, great performance. And I'm a bit surprised that this is only 15th in the odds, to be honest. Hedda Björk and Scared of Heights. She was in a glittery suit. Good vocals, sometimes a little bit off, but very good vocals in general. She owns that stage. She is a diva. I like her. I like the song. I know that a lot of you don't like the song, but it was a good performance, I would say. Then we have Colleen for Austria. She obviously had a wardrobe malfunction in London. And so the outfit this time was a bit less intricate, let's say. It's a jumpsuit, a black jumpsuit. So there wasn't anything that could pop off. I guess that was a conscious choice. She had rave glasses on at the beginning that she took off during the performance. However, I did notice that there was a lot of backtrack support. She didn't sing most of the song, actually. There were a lot of dance breaks. And then the We Will Rave was actually from tape. And I don't know whether they did that because the vocals in London weren't as good. And the parts that she did sing were better than in London, but still a bit pitchy in some parts. And so I'm interested to see how they will do that in Eurovision, whether there will be backing singers who support her, because at the moment, to be honest, it looks and sounds a bit like a non-qualifier to me, like a shock non-qualifier, because most people think that this will qualify. She was good. She is a very nice person, I'm sure, but I get a feeling that this might not be enough to actually make it to the final, especially when you have someone like Nuzza just walking all over these kinds of other pop songs. A bit like her, Angelina Mango, La Noia for Italy. I do love the graphics now we see in the background. I did criticized them for one of the first pre-party performances, but now I really like them. There are cards now. I didn't notice that in the other pre-parties with Italian words on them, almost like a vocabulary lesson, which is cool because I'm imparando l'italiano. You have il gatto or peperoncino, which adds a bit of Italian spice to the whole thing. You have the chilies, which really add a lot of spice. So really cool. The outfit, a catsuit again, very elegant, very well done, spontaneous performance, very good vocal performance. What else can I say? There was pyro. There was also a bit of ad-libbing at the end. So improvisation, which really shows you how comfortable she is performing this song already, which is very good for Eurovision, of course, because anything can happen and she will still be able to perform the song very, very well. And I also wanted to mention and give kudos to her because she's one of the first Italian artists that actually goes to all of the pre-parties. Even though she just won Sanremo, her career is skyrocketing. She still goes and does these performances. I think because she's starting out as an artist, she's very young and wants to have all of these experiences. But good for her. And this is one of the ones where I really had winner vibes. Very hard word for a German to say. Where I thought that she might be the winner. I wouldn't be surprised if this wins in May. So very well done once again. Then we have Raven with Veronica. She wore a floor-length, flowy gown, multicolored. I did like the black outfit she had on in London, I think, a bit better because it adds more elegance. I do love, however, the dancer in the background and the interaction. There's one moment where they're almost kissing or like very close together at least, and then the dancer goes away. It's like almost her inner Veronica, her inner feelings and hopes and whatever it is. Very good. The dancer is always around her, so that adds a lot to the song, I think. Perfect vocals again. I mean, what can I say? Very, very good as well. Megara, not as perfect vocals. The voice is a bit shaky in parts. She does a lot of moving around, of course, and the energy is there, which is great, but they should look at the vocals a little bit more, I think. Not maybe for qualifying from the semifinals, not as important, but if they do make it to the final, they really have to look at the vocals because otherwise the juries might destroy their chances. There's this moment, they had the two dancers again, which was cool. This moment where the flamenco music sets in and it's a bit quieter and they were together, coming together, a very intimate moment almost. It reminded me of Angie Fernandez and Benidorm, which is cool. And I think they should keep that because it adds a bit more depth to the performance. So pretty good as well. Next up, it's Bambi Thug for Ireland. They were really, really good. Ireland can be really proud of their act this year. Bambi Thug wore a more revealing outfit, but very creative again. There was a diadem, I don't really know how to describe it, like metal parts all over her body in certain areas. Really creative, something new every single time Bambi Thug performs, which really shows their creativity. So well done for that. Good vocals, actually. The switch, they do incredibly well. It is not easy to go from these screams to the poppy part, but the switch is, the change in register as well, is really effortless, kind of. Then they sat on the edge of the stage during the more subdued moment, and that created like a mystical feeling, like they're trying to hex us to vote for them in a way. And then at the end, they also said, you know what to do in Malmö, crown the witch. There was another word that I cannot repeat. But I now think that this might actually qualify. I don't know what is going to happen in these semifinals, but this is a very, very good performance. Well done. Then we have Jerry Heil and Alyona for Ukraine. Jerry Heil sounded a little bit off at the beginning. That might be the video that I saw, but it didn't sound 100%. But then as the song went on, she found the right key, I guess. Very good rap by Alyona. They were kind of matching outfits now, which is very helpful because I thought in the national final they looked like two separate artists coming together, and now they really look like a duo. There are more moments where they interact as well. The song ends with both of them almost embracing, which is great. The thing is, this is one of the ones I predicted this as the most likely winner in my winner prediction video, but I didn't really get winner vibes from this one. I don't really know what it is, but maybe the staging in Malmö will convince me, and then it's back in contention for me. They did the call and response with the audience. A lot of them did that, and I just realized how amazing it must be for, they are more established artists, but for someone who just started out and you're in the Netherlands and they know your song, they sing along with you, that must be an amazing feeling. So I can completely understand that they do the call and response thing as well. Then Marquez and Martinez, I kind of criticized the vocal tone in my last video. I thought the vocals were quite good here. They sounded less adolescent and more developed. I liked that. I think this pales in comparison to Lookdog if it doesn't have the staging. With the staging, it is very impressive, but without it, I think Lookdog sounds like the better pop song. It is a good song, it is a well-made song, but it is also a quite generic song, and I mean, they will have the staging, that will help. I like the outfits, I like their energy as well. They seem to be really happy to be there, but otherwise, not my favorite song, let's say that. Then we have Nemo and the Code for Switzerland. Nemo was wearing a oversized yellow, almost neon yellow coat, which was quite a change from the outfits from the video and also from the Swiss TV performance. I liked this outfit a bit more, I have to say. Otherwise, incredible, amazing vocals. 100%, every single part of that song. The switching, again, very effortlessly from rap to opera to pop. Very impressive. To quote the host from the Swiss TV show, I don't think Nemo is actually from planet Earth, because this vocal performance is really, really good. I think this is another one where I had winner vibes. The song is just so good. You just realize that when it's performed, the rap part with these frantic lights and the beat coming in and out, I mean, amazing. I would not be surprised if this is the winner and this is leading the odds for a reason, I think. So, yeah, very well done. Thank you for that performance. Ollie Alexander and Dizzy. In my video on the London pre-party, I kind of criticized that there was a lack of energy because at the moment I didn't know what had happened, that the performance was later than anticipated, that there were protests before. And so I completely understand that the energy was lacking. That is completely human and normal. And kudos to him actually to go on that stage with, despite everything that was going on. And here, you didn't have all of these problems. He did have a problem with the mic, which was off for like 20 seconds, but he continued very professionally, and you really notice that he is an experienced artist. Very well done for that. The energy was there from the very beginning. He slid onto that stage on his knees and just did the choreo, quite spontaneous choreo, I think, just moving along to the music. Kind of reminded me a bit of Angelina Mango. Very good vocals as well, very profesh, and actually exceeded my expectations for this performance. So well done, Ollie Alexander. Now, this is maybe the one you've been waiting for, Baby Lasagna Rim Tim Tagedim. Before I talk about the Eurovision concert performance, I wanted to mention the TV performance from Dutch TV. If you haven't seen that, he was on the talk show Bo, I think it's called. Very small studio, so not the easiest setting to perform this song in, but it was really good. There was an interview before, and again, you notice that when the interview was happening, he was Marco, quite shy, quite sweet as well, very likable. He comes across as very likable. But then the music sets in and he becomes Baby Lasagna and just performs the hell out of the song. Very well done. The thing that was new to me for this TV performance, two things actually. He wore a suit, so a more subdued outfit. And I actually liked that because you concentrate more on what he is singing about. He also talked about the meaning of the song in the interview right before the performance. And I watched the performance and it hit me just in a very different way. I got a bit emotional actually thinking about the message and what it means. And I think for people that hear this for the first time, their commentator might have explained what the song is about during the postcard. They might have this feeling as well. And it's a strange feeling because it's a song that should make you want to dance and rock out, but it also and it does, and at the same time it makes you emotional. So I think that a more subdued performance, like a more subdued outfit, not as crazy as in the Dora performance, might actually help drive the message home. And I also think that the juries might be more convinced to vote for it if it isn't as out there as during the Dora performance. Now, Eurovision in concert, again, very good performance. He has improved 1,000%. The vocals are so much better. The growl, perfect voice for this kind of song. There is no problem anymore with the microphone not being near his mouth, which we saw in Dora. So he has really improved 100%. Very good. He wasn't wearing a shirt, actually, which also shows you how much confidence he has gained throughout these weeks. Because I don't think if you're a shy guy, like he says he is, you would do that. And he wore a jacket over that, but also jeans. Very good, great stage presence. The energy was there. And again, this is one where I thought if this wins in May, I would not be surprised. So very well done. And I just love the story and the improvement that we've already seen from him. Besa and Titan, quite all right. She had leather pants on, very classy outfit. She is very likable, good performance. It was off at a few parts in the beginning, the vocal performance, and the rap again is missing a bit of oomph. And if you compare it to everything else we saw that night, I just think the song is not outstanding enough to do a lot, unfortunately. All the best to her, though. Moldova, golden dress, great presence on that stage, very piercing vocals again. And I mean, the problem with this is really the song. It's not her, it's the song that is just lacking something, a bit like Titan as well. In a year with so many outstanding songs, this might just not be enough. Nebulosa and Sora. I mean, Mary was wearing a new outfit, which looked more classy even than in the national final. The crowd went wild from the very beginning. This was the first pre-party that wasn't in Spain, and still the crowd loved it, sang along to it. I think the vocals improved quite a bit, actually. I think she's been training. She did a call and response at the end where you actually heard her, only her singing, and it didn't sound bad at all, especially compared to what we heard before. She had a cape on, took it off. It was kind of stuck for a minute, but anyway, just such a fun performance. The dancers were a bit more tapados with something around their top, let's say. Well done, great performance, love it. And this will be such fun in Eurovision as well. Isaac always on the run. The only thing that really changed is that he had a silver jacket on, which I didn't think would happen because his style is a bit more, brown tones and stuff. Again, great start with the a cappella, which isn't 100% a cappella. There are some strings, but putting the focus on his voice is a very good idea. And he had a great vocal performance. I think this will have a great vocal performance if he had a team that actually put some thought into the staging. This might actually do relatively well for German standards and might avoid the bottom 5, but I'm just not sure that the team is invested enough to actually have an interesting staging for this. Because this is a song that the juries would go for, I think. I mean, we shall see, I guess. Maybe next year will be better, or maybe there's a miracle or something. And we have Joost Klein and Europapa. A lot to say about this one. First pre-party performance. The energy was there. The crowd was loving it. Obviously, this was on home turf, but honestly, I think in any pre-party, this would have gone down very well with the crowd. Very well done. He was wearing the outfit you see in the image there, the blue suit with the shoulder pads. What really made this stand out for me is the graphics in the background. He really plays with us. He said it said #1 in the bookmakers at one point. I love the bookmakers. He also did a shout out to the bookmakers, kind of making fun of the way we talk about Eurovision, I guess. It also said in the background, these are not my graphics, wait for my performance on May 9th. So kind of making fun of people like me, maybe, who are talking about everything way before Eurovision even happens. And I liked that. It also said applause at some point. There were some fun images of, Italian pasta and stuff like that. 12 points to the Netherlands is also said, like in some of his PR videos. He's been doing that. There was a cameraman on stage with him, which added some really cool visuals, shaky visuals for some parts of the song that really fit the music as well. The slow end, which is something that I was wondering about how they would do that. He's just standing there statically, singing that part, and the emotion was there. And I think it's actually a great end to a song like this, and it will help people remember the song, which is very important in Eurovision, of course. And then they were talking to him a bit at the end, and he said, like a wise man once said, it's crazy, it's party. So shout out to Caddy as well. Great performance, well done. I wouldn't be surprised if this rises in the odds after this performance, because we got a few glimpses of how crazy the Eurovision performance might turn out to be. Talking about Carrier, these are his successors, Windows 95 Man. Again, you need the staging for this song. I don't think it would have won UMK without the great staging. The vocals by Henry were quite okay. The vocals by Windows 95 Man were non-existent. It is still a fun performance. You are entertained when watching it, but this needs the staging, and I think without it, another song might have won UMK. These are all the performances, my first impressions of the performances. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Do subscribe to this channel. I can't wait to spend the next 4 weeks with you preparing for Eurovision, talking about the rehearsals, predictions, odds, lots of things to come. So do subscribe, and then I'll see you for my next video. See you then, and bye-bye.